A very good morning to my dear students of class 6. Today we will start chapter 6, the Later Vedic Civilization. The Indo-Aryans gradually settled in the Gangetic Valley between 1000 BCE to 500 BCE. This period was known as the Later Vedic period. The main sources of information from where we will get the detail of the Later Vedic civilization and about the life of the Aryans are the three Later Vedas, the epics, and the archaeological evidences. Now, I will tell you about the political organization of the Later Vedic civilization. In our previous chapter, we got to know that the Aryans lived in small tribes. These small tribes developed into large kingdoms during the Later Vedic civilization. Kuru, Koshala, Magadha, Kashi were some important and powerful kingdoms established by the Indo-Aryans. The kings became powerful and their kingship became hereditary. Now, what is the term hereditary mean? When a title or a position in society is passed on as a right from parent to child, it is called hereditary. Clear? Now, the king appointed many officials who were there for assisting the king. The officials were put in charge of different departments. After ascending the throne, the kings performed two main rituals, Rajasuya Yajna and the Ashwamedha Yajna. The Rajasuya Yajna was a religious ceremony performed by the Purohita for the kings who considered themselves to be the most powerful. On the other hand, the Ashwamedha Yajna is a horse sacrifice ritual. The ancient kings performed this ritual to prove their imperial sovereignty, to establish their supreme authority over the territory through which his horse passed. Clear? Means what? Means the regions through which the horse passed came under the direct control of the king who had performed the Ashwamedha Yajna. Our next topic is the classification of society. In our previous chapter, I told you that the four classes or the varnas emerged in the society on the basis of the occupation of the Aryans. Now, in this period, the four varnas transformed into the four classes. The caste was now decided by birth and not by occupation. So, in this way, the class system became hereditary. And according to the class system, society was also divided. The Brahmanas and the Kshatriyas formed the ruling class. The artisans, traders, farmers were belonging to the Vaishyas. And in the last were the Shudras, who were the uneducated workers for serving the other three classes. Clear? Now our next topic is the family life. During the Later Vedic period, the family life, means the joint family system, became more effective. But the position of women were totally different from the early Vedic civilization. they were now considered inferior to men. They were there to serve their husbands only and to take care of their families only. Our next topic is the 4 ashramas. So, in this civilization, the later Vedic civilization, the life of the Aryans were divided into 4 stages or ashramas. Okay, there were 4 stages or ashramas in the life of the Aryans. The first one is the Brahmacharya. In this stage, a person had to stay with his guru in the Gurukul for taking the education. Means there only, in the Gurukul only, the person was allowed to take his education. That was the Brahmacharya stage. Next stage is the Grihastha. That is the second stage, in which a man got married and led a family life as a householder. Third stage is the Vanaprastha, where he was supposed to break the family ties. Last and final stage is the Sannyasa. In this stage, a man became an ascetic, spreading the principles of religion and truth. Now, my students, I will tell you about the Gurukul system of education. When the Aryan boy was at 7 years old, he was sent to Gurukul. Gurukul is the house of the teacher or guru. In the Gurukul only, he had to take his education till he was 25 years old. Gurukuls were usually situated deep in the forest. The students in the Gurukul led a simple life, but they had to lead a disciplined life. Besides learning, the students helped their guru in many ways, meaning cleaning the house or gathering wood and all, etc. The skill of writing was not developed during the later Vedic period. So the students had to memorize the lessons which were taught orally. After completing his education, the student paid Guru Dakshina to his guru. Education was free, but the students, if according to their will, they paid the Guru Dakshina to their gurus.